Hello and welcome to Non Sequitur News for February 25th, 2025. It's Season 4, Episode 56. I am Mayor Watt and I run ohmtown.com, and along with the sentient AI that's not available today, I've got 10 articles. The first one is Have I Been Pwned? And then we're going to talk about a 2,000-year-old Roman sword, then Boogie Bees, DNA of American Trees, the woolly devil from a national park, the future of the internet, a luxury strawberry for $19, AI replaces 4,000 roles at a bank, and dressing for the Oscars, and then finally, felon in love during a crime spree. Everything is powered by ohmtown.com. Go over and become a citizen. Then follow us. Follow us here on Twitch and on YouTube first. Then go over and sign up to be a citizen over at ohmtown.com. That would be great. Be sure to like us and ring the bell and come and hang out with us here on Twitch and YouTube every day. Unless mayoral duties keep me from doing the show, which may happen later this week. We'll see. But at any rate, hope to see you here in the chats one way or another. See you on the other side of the intro. All right, folks. So let's get into these 10 articles. Have I Been Pwned adds 284 million accounts stolen by InfoStealer malware. Have I Been Pwned data breach notification service has added over 284 million accounts stolen by information stealer malware and found on a Telegram channel. Rough. It's over at bleepingcomputer.com, which really breaks a lot of security-related issues. Sergio Gatlin over at bleepingcomputer.com put the article together. So this database contains 23 billion rows with 493 million unique website and email address pairs, affecting 284 million unique email addresses, according to Hunt. Troy Hunt, HIBP founder, says that he found a 284 million record compromised account database, 1.2 terabytes of logs. Rough. Due to the large number of accounts in the stolen collection, the data may likely include old and new credentials stolen through credential stuffing attacks and data breaches. So the validity of the information might be in question across the full spectrum of it. Not all of them, even though they might have been copied and broken passwords, they may not be valid at the time of the check. So you should probably investigate to see which one of your accounts has been breached. I've always felt weird about going to Have I Been Pwned, because it's like I'm confirming that this email address could be pwned all over the place. And it's like confirming it, right? So anyway, it's like telling a spammer, to stop calling the account. Well, now they know that you exist. You almost have to go and change your passwords constantly. Anyway, if you want all of today's articles, they're in the show notes over on YouTube, or you can hit !NSN in the chat over on Twitch. Omatron always gets booted out of the chat over at YouTube, so it doesn't stay there. It doesn't persist beyond the chat. So, and sometimes though, I copy them into the chat. That way they're part of the VOD over on YouTube as well. But you can just look at the description, the show notes. It's right there. Anyway, there you go. In December of 2021, HIBP also added 441,000 stolen accounts in the information stealing campaign using Redline malware, one of the most widely used info stealers at the time. The data was found on an unsecured server, which exposed over 6 million Redline logs collected in August and September of 2021. So HIBP is kind of hitting it out of the park there. Anyway, there you go. Let's keep on going. I'm going to make today's show as well. I'm going to try and be fast, but a couple of these are really interesting. And I have an extra one for maybe those trying times that you might be experiencing. Not condoning that you do this regularly, but everybody enjoys a good drink. Anyway, it's over on the Mobile channel. The next article is over on the Mobile channel. Metal detectorists stumble upon a rare 2,000-year 2,000-year-old Roman sword in Poland. Researchers think that the weapon, which had been deliberately broken and burned, is once part of a funerary ritual for a local warrior. Eli Wizovich over at SmithsonianMag.com, or Smithsonian Magazine, as the kids say, put the article together, and the text statement says researchers think that the weapon, it's what I said earlier, but researchers think that the weapon, which had been deliberately broken and burned, was once part of a funerary ritual for a local warrior. They actually have it on a cushion, put back together, not really put back together, but back aligned to how it was. I've always found these swords to be pretty amazing, because this is what we used to fight with, right? So we'd never found anything like this. Prozowski, a member of the Inventum Association Historical Society, tells Gazeta Wyborcza, I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm not sure. If you know how to pronounce it and can do it phonetically, you can actually, oh, you know what? I have a new service. Hold on. Let me tell you how this works. So I have a new service where you can actually leave a message for ohmTown at voiceline.app/ohmTown. Yeah, voiceline.app/ohmTown, and you can leave a voicemail, and I'll play it here, depending on its content, of course, but we'll see. If you hear this and you want to leave a voicemail, then feel free. It doesn't cost you anything. So no one can quite say how or why the sword ended up there. Only research on it will perhaps yield some detailed knowledge. After making the find, the Lampa turned it over to the archaeological authorities at the nearby Chichewa Museum, where experts are conducting additional testing. So this was found, let's see, where was it? They were searching for World War II era artifacts in the snowy woods of the Polish Jura when the metal detectors revealed an unexpected and much rarer item. Well, good on them. They found something. Cool. There you go. The next article is over in Non Sequitur News. For bees, the right dance moves are key to food gathering success. We've actually talked about this before, and it's almost common knowledge, I suspect. But bees do a waggle dance, and depending on the angle of attack and the number of waggles, then fellow brethren bees know where to go and harvest some food. I think it's kind of amazing. So a new study reveals that honeybee dance styles sway food foraging success. As far as animals go, honeybees are world-class dancers. The moves, known as waggle dance, convey very specific food foraging instructions to their nest mates. The direction the dancer moves explains to other bees which way to go, and the duration of the waggle is how far they need to go. Once the other bees have been convinced to follow the directions, they are recruited. After receiving the instructions, these recruits leave the hive to find food their sisters were so excited about. But apparently they don't always find their way. So this article is by James Mason from Virginia Tech. The article is over at futurity.org. And so, unfortunately, many of these recruited bees do not always successfully find the food that they set out for. I think that there's a new service here that we need to barcode these bees, and then a scanner can scan them, that they leave and come back. We talked about it previously because there was a researcher that was doing just that, except I think that it needs to be more socially empowered, and you can basically fund a bee. As long as it stays out and comes back, you basically pay a premium fee for how long it stays out, X amount per hour or whatever, and you compensate that bee by paying it for its duties. And if it disappears, then it might be the natural order of things, because the bees sometimes meet their demise. But if it comes back, then hey, it makes some revenue. Anyway, Margaret Covion, I guess, associate professor for the entomology department at the College of Agriculture and Life Sciences at Virginia Tech, and her former PhD student, Laura McHenry, wanted to find out why. So they've learned several interesting patterns related to the form of communication, this waggle dance. It was described 80 years ago, they say, and there's still a lot to learn about it. So One such observation was that the bees have consistent, unique ways of dancing, meaning each bee has its own style that it adds to the communication. Could the success of the waggle dance be related to this uniqueness? Would bees that communicated similarly yield more successful recruits, or are there some other factors at play? So maybe they translated it incorrectly when they did their waggle. So they devised an experiment utilizing clear-walled hives, video cameras, and a method of tagging bees so that they could be tracked as individuals when they foraged and danced. Each hive included foragers that had been taught the location of artificial food source. These trained foragers performed a waggle dance to teach others where the food was, effectively training the new set of recruits. Her team hypothesized that the bees with similar dance styles would more often successfully teach others how to find the food, and communication that differed between bees would be less successful. So based on the data, they found that similar dance communication styles did not actually result in the most successful foraging, which was their original hypothesis. Dances that had a longer run, effectively telling the recruits to overshoot the food source, were more successful than dances describing similar, more accurate distances. Either that, or we don't know what the hell we're talking about in relation to the distance of the waggle. So, I don't know. This pattern suggested that the overshooting instructions may have led to additional opportunities to find the food once on the way past and then on the way back. All right. We don't really know what we're doing. So it's kind of funny that we're sitting there going, well, they did 15 waggles, and that means that they need to go 5 miles, but maybe it's 6 miles, and we just don't know what we're doing. All right, let's keep on going. The next article is scientists decode the DNA of one of America's most iconic trees. The white oak is a keystone species in eastern North American forests, valued for its economic, ecological, and cultural significance. But despite its abundance, the species is experiencing a decline in seedling recruitment across much of its range. So they've broken down the DNA. Maybe they'll be able to save these trees by genetically modifying or enhancing the DNA of the tree so that it's stronger and can survive longer. University of Tennessee Institute of Agriculture put the article together. And it says lead authors Meg Stanton, an associate professor of bioinformatics and computational genomics at the University of Tennessee, and Drew Larson, a National Science Foundation postdoctoral fellow at Indiana University, collaborated with scientists from academia, the U.S. Forest Service, state forests, industry to collect and analyze genetic sequence data representative of white oak populations. So the white oak has been genetically decoded. A study details the genome of the highly prized white oak. So hopefully they'll save it. But this is grant funded, so you don't really know if they're going to get enough funding to pursue this beyond what they've already done. The paper addresses the extent of the genetic diversity and population differentiation of Q. alba and how gene content in disease resistance genes appear to have evolved during the history of the Quercus and related taxa. The authors also discuss phylogenetic hypotheses, or how oak species are evolutionarily related, as supported by the whole genome data. So congratulations, white oak. You've been genetically decoded. Let's go on to this next article. It's over in the Marble Channel. Meet the woolly devil, the first new plant genus discovered in a national park since 1976. Sarah Kuda put the article together for SmithsonianMag.com or Smithsonian Magazine. And a volunteer spotted the tiny fuzzy plant with maroon florets while exploring the remote northern corner of Big Bend National Park in Texas. So that's what it looks like. And what is it called? Woolly devil. I guess it's new. It looks pretty fascinating. I don't know. It's kind of cool. Last spring, Deb Manley was exploring a remote area of Big Bend National Park when she spotted something unusual on the ground. Tiny, fuzzy, flowering plants were sprouting up from between the desert rocks at the Texas park's northern region. She had never seen anything like it before. Manley, who volunteers for the park's botany program, snapped a few photos and uploaded them to the citizen science platform iNaturalist to see if anyone could identify the mysterious plant. She alerted park staffers who were also unfamiliar with the hairy white foliage and maroon florets. So, Manley and a team of researchers embarked on a quest to identify the discovery, and after consulting species databases, herbarium records, and plant taxonomy publications, they realized that they found a new species. Yay! So it's named Oviculum baradiata in a new paper published last week in the journal Phytokeys. So congratulations. It's the first one since 1976. And that was in Death Valley National Park, apparently. A gold shrub, Dodecara uricensis. Anyway, there they go. They're actually... Maybe they're aliens. Who knows? I don't know. Woolly devil is what botanists refer to as a belly plant, or a tiny low-growing plant that can best be seen while lying prone on the ground. It measures less than 3 inches across and often blends in with surrounding gravel. And I'm pretty sure other people have found this thing. They just didn't know that it was something unique. So congratulations. All right, let's keep going. The next article is over in Non Sequitur News. The future of the internet is likely smaller communities with a focus on curated experiences. This article is over at TheVerge.com, written by Edwin Wong and Andrew Melnizek. Sorry. So the new survey from The Verge and Vox Media addresses this moment of internet fragmentation. And the reason why I selected this is because that's basically what ohmTown is. It's niche communities interested in segments of information, and largely curated by me, because I'm the one that aggregates all of the information using Omatron and the Gatherer. And so it gets funneled into 6 main categories, and then broken out into 50 sub channels here in ohmTown. And so I vet all of the sources, but not all of the individual aggregate pieces. So I hope you enjoy the show. So go over to ohmTown.com and check it out. And I know that there are some things going on with it, but I'm seeking resolution for it. But it's a one-man show. So, and an AI, but the AI doesn't work on the back end stuff. So, in this emerging AI era, so artificial intelligence is basically taking over things, and not this next article, but the one after it is very telling of the trend of where we're headed. It's an AI era. The very ideas of community and human connection are poised for redefinition. Brands and platforms will weaponize the terms in a bid to capture their attention of their ideal audiences. Sites like Reddit actually made fake content communication, user accounts and whatnot, to fill it with communication, but it was fake, and they faked it until they made it, and now they're a $1 billion company. So where are communities really headed? How should this evolution shape how creators and media companies build products and marketers engage with their audiences? These are the questions that will define the next phase of the internet. So much is AI smoke and mirrors and BS that I kind of got burnt out on the idea of a community where I could fake it and then I would make it. But that isn't what will make this live long term. People have to find value in ohmTown.com and in these shows. So if you do, please like and subscribe and follow us on Twitch and on YouTube. Download the podcast. Go over to the Patreon and show that you're interested there. There isn't much content there, mainly because there isn't just much content that's paywalled. And so everything that we do is over on YouTube and on Twitch. So all 1,900 episodes of the various things. So go and check it all out. And I'm hoping that I will be able to spend more time providing stuff like movie nights where we can all watch a movie together. And I'll post it over on the Continuity Report, which is one of the channels. Anyway, The Verge partnered with Vox Media Insights and research team, along with 2 Cents Insights everything's insights, to better understand how American consumers are embracing this shift. The goal was to work with to redefine what online communities will be like in the post-social media era of emerging AI and Google Zero. And as brands look to hold on to the internet of the past, the term community will become a loaded word, with brands and platforms trying to use it more often to reach their ideal customer. And so it's going to balkanize the internet even more so, and fracture it into groups that aren't as connected to other groups anywhere else. But we've always done that, you know. People are on Reddit, but they're not on Dig. Dig was the old school competitor to Reddit, and then it imploded because it went pure commercial pipeline. And so it collapsed and everybody went to Reddit, and that's what made Reddit really succeed. Because it was, you know, getting its cookie eaten regularly by Dig, and then whatever, it imploded. So the search covers the following chapters. The research covers platform shifts, defining connection, content matters, especially in communities. I think context matters more. Brand matter. AI may complicate. And then they say their takeaways. So big platforms are losing trust and disruption is here. Digital spaces are coming up short compared to relationships. Content drives community, even for digital experiences. AI is powerful, but not always welcome. Smaller, purpose-driven communities are the future. And that's really where ohmTown exists. Because there's 50 communities at any given time. But we're considering expanding it beyond 50. Because it was an arbitrary number. But I'm finding that I'm outgrowing those 50 silos of niche topics. So I have a lot of interests, and that's basically what ohmTown was built around. All right, let's keep going though. The next article is over in the Mobile Channel. This luxury grocery store is selling a single strawberry for $19. Would you spend $19 on a single strawberry? We've talked about these really expensive strawberries. They're usually juicier, much sweeter. But it says here in the article that most people would absolutely not pay $20. It says 19, but I'm rounding up. Content creator Alyssa Antosi found the wildly priced strawberry, which was imported from Kyoto, Japan. Yes, these are actually typically hydroponically grown strawberries indoors with grow lights, so that they are kept from predation, and everything is maximized to the strawberries benefit, and they are crossbred so that they get a very specific type of flavor and mouthfeel and everything. So they found this strawberry imported from Kyoto, Japan, in the health food store of Erewhon, sitting in a mini tray in a plastic container. It looks like any typical strawberry you'd see, except that it's usually larger, much larger. So let's go over and look at it. Yeah, it's usually larger. Sammy Caramella put the article together for Vice.com. And so they actually have their TikTok posted here, and they bought it, this single $20, what they're calling the best tasting strawberry in the entire world. And we've actually talked about it previously. You'd have to do a search on YouTube and find the show where we did this. So they popped the top off the strawberry container and took a bite. They said, wow, this is the best strawberry. That's crazy. I don't know if they're going to say the name of the company, but anyway, it says, then people were writing, please stop normalizing spending $19 on one strawberry. Yeah, that's not what this is about, really. It's something that you try once. Yeah, I mean, if you're filthy rich, then you can eat these regularly, but usually this is something that is an enormous treat. You don't eat these on the regular. Anyway, these actually exist, and I would love to be able to make one of these, grow one of these, but today is not the day. Let's go on. The next article is the one that I was talking about AI replacing humans. So a major Asian bank, or Asia Bank, it says here, major Asia Bank, to cut 4,000 roles as AI replaces humans. It makes DBS one of the first major banks to offer details on how AI will affect its operations, firing 4,000 people because AI powered by humans is now replacing humans because it's got enough information where it can just do it all on its own. So Peter Hoskins, and with automation, and this is stuff that I've been talking about for 11 years in one of my careers, and basically since, for, a tremendous amount of time since I can remember, basically. Anyway, Peter Hoskins over at bbc.com put this article together. The company did not say how many jobs would be cut in Singapore. Over the next 3 years, we envision that AI could reduce the need to renew about 4,000 temporary and contract staff across our 19 markets working on specific projects, the DBS spokesperson said. DBS currently has between 8,000 and 9,000 temporary and contract workers. The bank employs around 41,000 people. Last year, Mr. Gupta said that DBS had been working on AI for over a decade. Today, we employ or deploy over 800 AI models across 350 use cases and expect the measured economic impact of these to exceed 745 million US dollars, nearly 600 million pounds, or 1 billion Singaporean dollars. So yeah, this will continue to happen, because if you can set out a series of rules that a person goes through to perform any task, it can be enumerated in code and thus replace them. The problem is you need subject matter expertise, critical thinking, the ability to do due diligence beyond what the AI might be able to do. But eventually, knowledge workers in general will be replaced by AI. It just takes time and training. But then what do those people do? What do people do for a job if all knowledge can be automated through AI? So it's going to become a social issue at some point. And when social issues don't get addressed, you get change. And sometimes it's not a happy-go-lucky change. And why is that artifact back? Anyway, I got to remedy this. Anyway, the next article is over in Non Sequitur News. It costs $10 million to dress an A-list actress to the at the Oscars. These are 10 jaw-dropping figures reveal the price tag of Hollywood's biggest night. The 2025 Academy Awards will air on Sunday, March 2nd at ABC, or on ABC. The ceremony costs $57.7 million, Wallet Hub estimated. The ceremony alone. Okay, whatever that means. But the whole thing, the whole show, it cost $10 million to dress an A-list actress. Anyway, A-Star's Oscars look at $1.5 million on average. In 2014, Cate Blanchett's cost $18.1 million, it says. So the way that this snippet is formatted, it is making my stomach roil. Ilana Klein and McKenna Menace over at BusinessInsider.com put the article together. And so it says here, this year's award season is set to against the backdrop of the devastating wildfires that tore through the greater Los Angeles area. Some 50 or something like that $1 billion. I think that's what it's priced at. Total costs. Guess we'll see once the accounting is all added up. We will reflect on the recent events while highlighting the strength, creativity, and optimism that defines Los Angeles and our industry. From red carpet looks to the cost of the statues, Wallet Hub's annual Oscars report found that honoring the biggest achievements in film comes with a high price. So they went through some of this. 2025 Academy Award ceremony will cost an estimated $58 million. 50,000 square foot red carpet alone costs $24,700, which, I mean, for 50,000 square feet of red carpet, I suspect they're getting a hell of a discount for bulk red carpeting. 24,000 isn't that much. I mean, a 5,000 square foot house can cost like that much, depending on the carpet, of course. Anyway, each gold-plated Oscar award costs $400. Couples must reportedly pay $83,000 for tickets to the Vanity Fair Oscar party. The Oscar goodie bag contains gifts like skincare, luxury getaways, and snacks, and are worth $170,000. So you just made $80,000 by buying a ticket. And Wallet Hub estimates that the value of each goodie bag given a star is $170,000, but the Everybody Wins bags aren't actually gifted by the Academy. They're the work of LA-based marketing agency Distinctive Assets. It cost $10 million to complete the look of an A-list actress for the Oscars. I'm having a hard time talking. 30-second advertisement is $2 million. ABC makes at least $127 million in ad revenue on Oscar Sunday. And there's more, so you can go over and check out the rest of this article. I've always found this kind of stuff interesting this is news trivia without the game. That's why I titled this, and I may actually stick to that title. It's news trivia without the game, because, well, I'm not sitting there going, hey, what costs $10 million at the Oscars? Oh, the average A-list actress. Why can I not say actress after saying A-list? A-list actress. Yeesh. Anyway, this is our last article formally, but I have a bonus one for those. Well, sometimes you just need a drink. Anyway, so this last article for the February 25th Non Sequitur News is armed robbers pause their crime spree to get hitched in Las Vegas. So, yeah, I called this one Felon in Love During a Crime Spree. So, alleged robbers paused their 2-week crime spree to get married in Vegas. The pair is accused of dozens of robberies, or a dozen robberies throughout Southern California, and the couple is currently in custody and awaiting trial. An alleged modern-day Bonnie and Clyde have been charged with going on a 2-week armed robbery spree that included getting married in Vegas. All right, I'm just going to leave that alone. So these two, I guess, have been indicted by federal grand jury with robbing 12 stores in Southern California last year between January 29th and February 14th. So they only did it for a couple of months. But it says, oh, well, one of them is last name is Lucky. So Bland and Lucky. And so they titled this segment Lucky in Love. Ha 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 ha. Anyway, they paused, became one of approximately 70 to 80,000, one of the 70 to 80,000 couples that tie the knot each year in Las Vegas. Neither the location of their marriage nor whether they sprang for the Elvis impersonator is detailed in the federal documents, but apparently they got married. The happy couple have been separated since their arrest, but only because that's how federal custody works. Wow, they total somewhere between 100 and 178 years, depending on what crimes they actually get convicted of. Good God. So the article is by Corey Levitan. Pardon me. Corey Levitan over at casino.org. They have some of the most interesting articles. There's always more in the article, so go on over and check it out. And finally, the bonus article is that Jack Daniel's has released the oldest whiskey in a century. It's a 14-year-old Tennessee whiskey. This is over at the Spirits Business. Mona Madsen, or Miona or Mona. I don't know how they pronounce it. It might be Mona. Madsen over at thespiritsbusiness.com put the article together. Brown-Forman owned Jack Daniel's has unveiled its 2025 aged series releases, including a 14-year-old Tennessee whiskey. Let's see. I'll try and hurry up. And it says after distillation, wait. I want to see what it's actually made of. Do they say what the bill is? I'm scanning it really hard, so I don't know. Blah, 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 blah. Anyway, so after the distillation, the new make is filtered through 10 feet of sugar maple charcoal, like the flagship Jack Daniel's Old Number 7 Tennessee whiskey, offered at 126.3 proof. It's 63.15 ABV. Displays notes of sweet bakery spices, oak, cinnamon, butterscotch, leather and pipe tobacco, because that's what I love. Just if you want leather and pipe tobacco, go to, no, never mind. I like a good whiskey, like anybody, but like some people, but $150 bottle. So I'm gonna ask a friend to see if they've got it, and I'll sample it. They have a 10-year-old bottle that's $85. The 12-year-old batch 3 has layers of dark fruit and bittersweet cocoa. That's $95, etc., etc. Anyway, there's a lot more over here, but if you can get your hands on a bottle of this, I'd be surprised, because usually they've already got it pre-assigned to somebody that has the scratch and political pull to actually grab hold of it before you ever lay your damn hands on it. Come on now. Anyway, I'm Mayor Watt. I'm signing off, and as I tip one back, I'm going to end up staring up at ohmtown.com. I don't know what I'm saying. Anyway, I'll see you all later. See you tomorrow, where we're going to do another one of these 10 articles, Non Sequitur News, where all the noise comes from me. So go over and get nothing but news from ohmtown.com, and follow us here on Twitch and here on YouTube. Download the podcasts. Hang out with us in Discord. And you know what? Open up everything on different tabs and just stay there. Anyway, see you all tomorrow. Bye-bye.